You guys start chiming in here. I got a little bit of time here. But again, I don't like that. It's like, I've got a lot to talk about. Yeah, that was better. Because maybe later on I can squeeze it. There you go. Somebody chime in here. And I know it takes a little bit to get started when you're doing this. There you go. What's up, Jerry? I'm kind of wait a little bit, let everybody catch on. I've got a lot to talk about. It's just, me and a couple other people on Saturday morning, they had called me. I get a lot of, wow, Canada. That's awesome. I get a lot of people that will send me things and say, did you see this? Or, hey, Dave, did you? Man, it's got to go way down, man. Am I too far? There you go. That's better. I get a lot of people, and I know the majority of them has been with me for a long time, and I'll talk about a lot of this stuff in a minute, but I have people that basically cover my ass out there, and they don't tell me they do it, but I know by watching the actions of other people that they actually do it. So I need to keep that going. He's a good guy, isn't he? Clem. He's a vet too. A lot of you guys don't know that because he doesn't talk about it. But I have guys that out there that send me little clips of people talking shit, and I'll talk about that in a minute, because I got my intro already, and I want to dive into a couple things, and I'm not going to stay on it that long tonight when I talk about what I want to talk about. I've got a whole list of things, and I don't want this to be a channel where everybody's just gonna. I'm going to get up there and call people out. No, that's not what I'm here for. It's about education, about transparency, letting you guys know what we're working on. Totally different channel. What's up, guys? Totally different channel than what I had before. Before I was talking about a lot of bats, health, nutrition, working out. Now it's different. It's changed. Now, to my surprise, I thought whenever I transitioned over to Short Porch and changed everything that I would have a big drop off on YouTube. Not necessarily Facebook, but on YouTube, I thought it was going to be a big drop. I'd estimated about 1,000. I'm at 8,300, 8,200 subscribers. And if you compare those to a lot of the bat review people out there, even the U-Trip bats, I was right there. I wasn't top, but on the bat reviews, I was up there for a long time on the bat reviews on senior ball. There's so many guys out there that do U-Trip, and they have a bigger following in U-Trip and ASA than they seniors do. So I pride myself on that, being one of the top bat review people. So whenever I transitioned over, I thought I was going to lose a lot of people, and I really didn't. I lost 100. I gained 50. Since I went over to Short Porch, I gained 50, lost 100. And then I have, which I would recommend a lot of you bat review people out there, you have a membership channel. I recommend you guys start that membership channel. I've talked to a couple of you guys out there privately, and I said you need to get it done because it pulls in a little bit extra money every month, and you get paid every month for that. through analytics. You're already getting paid analytics if you're over 1,000. So whenever people, it's the advertising on YouTube that they pay you for. They direct deposit money right into your bank every night, every month. So I'm telling these guys they need to do membership channel. Now, guys, I'll tell you, I had 80 people on that membership channel. I've got 70. So I lost 10. And the 10 that I lost were companies that help support my channel. Back companies that help support my channel. So, and on that membership channel, I talked about building bats. Not to the depth that I'm doing right now with Short Porch, but I talked a little bit about how to get you guys started whenever you actually want to do some kind of bats. So a lot of those guys would ask me questions. Now, this is transparency. I'm telling you guys everything that I've done, everything that I do. And if you have a bat review channel, people will pay you so much a month just to watch you talk. The membership channel is for when I want to go deep. I want to talk about different, like before, it's not up there no more, but all the weight distribution numbers. And if you didn't get it, it's no longer up there. I actually took them all down. If you're part of that membership channel, you'll see that. And I took those numbers down. What I thought about balance points, what I thought about handle flex, more mass on the end, the way the handle should perform. And right now, I'm finally catching on. Right now, working for Short Porch, I can't talk as much as I used to in the past, but that information was available. And if it wasn't available and they really didn't get it and they tried doing it, they would call me on the phone. Bat companies would call me on the phone. I have 7 that actually call me. I have done research and development for bat companies, but I never talked about it. You might, guys, when you see all the videos, the old videos that used to be up, you might see a black bat laying around, or you might see a bat that was last year's model and it's brand new and we just started swinging it. Well, that's research and development that we did. But I didn't sit here and go, we're doing it for this company or doing it for that company. I did not. So before I get, now let's stop right there, because I'm actually going down something I don't want to get. I want to start from the beginning because I have bullet points here. Guys on Facebook, get on YouTube, subscribe. And on YouTube, guys, get on Facebook. I am, when I first started doing it, I think it was about a month and a half ago when I went over to Short Porch. At first, it kind of started off slow by gaining subscribers and friends on Facebook, subscribers on YouTube, but it's blown up. In the last week, I was talking to the guys this morning, in the last week, it has blown up. And I think it has a lot to do with the movement. The people talk about the movement is getting out there. Now, the reason I know the movement's getting out there because there are so many videos out there debunking the movement, telling a lot of other people it's bullshit, and it's too much thinking. I heard that word too. It's too much thinking. But guys, I was doing this 15 years ago. I was talking about this 15 years ago, weight distribution. Because the bats that were, and I was talking this morning, the bats that were built 15 years ago sucked on weight distribution. They were calling end loads, and they were balanced bats. And I actually would do my review on a bat, and I would tell them, this is not an end loaded bat. This is not the mother load, to call out a bat out there that called itself the mother load. This actually has 11 on the hands. That's a balanced bat. And educating people out there that wanted to get a true balance point, if it was a 1/4 ounce, 1/2 ounce, 3/4 ounce, and 1 ounce. And look, there's a number there, guys. You guys don't understand. There's a formula there, and I talked about this. My first saying on my website in 2011, and if you guys are one of the menus, you'll remember I said on the top, it's a formula. It's not what fits your swing. It's a formula. It's not what feels good. It's a formula. It's not what feels good in your hands. So I've been preaching this 2009, 2010, 2011, and I was talking about this, and I got feedback back then. But what a lot of people, and I did it at first so the seniors out there would get a true reading on what they needed because of bat speed, because of flex. Is this really a 1/2 ounce end load or is it a quarter ounce end load? So there, like I said, there's a number out there that I have that I haven't given anybody that I can call it quarter ounce end load, a balanced bat, half ounce end load, 3/4 ounce end load. So I know those numbers. You wouldn't be surprised on a lot of companies out there that don't know those numbers, and they called me to get the numbers. And if it comes to that where I have to prove myself, I will, because I have you telling me that. I have you asking those questions. I covered my ass, guys. And because I knew this shit right here, well, people, the haters out there, and I'll get to that in a minute, where the haters out there are just spewing shit out to debunk what you're working for, what the movement is. And the reason I came over to Short Porch is they talked to me about this movement, right? And I was like, damn, I need to be a part of this. I need to be a part of the movement that you guys, that Short Porch has created and talked about, because that's the way I think. And because I want to change. That's another thing too. I can sit here for 15 years and talk about something, but I got the opportunity to actually make a name for myself, I guess, when it comes to bat building or weight distribution numbers or what better fits your bat speed. So and it's picking up speed, and I don't want to talk too much into that because I'm getting carried away, but it's picking up speed because you have all the naysayers out there that are saying it's bullshit. And I've been called that within the last week, that I'm full of shit. And it really doesn't bother me. And I was talking to my wife, I said, what I need to be too is, we don't have any of these. I need to be a fact checker. If you guys want to know something, and I've been doing this for years, guys, and you'll text me on the side, or you'll message me or email me and ask me questions, and I'll tell you the truth the way it is. I don't get up here and try to bullshit you. And I hate people that do that bullshitting. I hate people that lie just to sell a product. And that's the reason I started this 15 years ago, because these guys were lying to the seniors, and they were spending their well-earned money on bats that did not fit their bat speed. And I said something about it years ago. That's the reason I started this 15 years ago, to help out the seniors. I'm not talking about U-Trip, guys. It's totally different monster there. I'm not talking about U-Trip. I'm not talking about anything. I'm talking about diminishing bat speed when it comes to seniors and barrel flex, handle flex, all that other stuff. So I wanted to make a name for myself, and I have the opportunity now to do that. Right? It's no longer senior softball bat reviews. That's gone. That's not coming back either. That's gone. That's not coming back. There's other people out there that took over, and not say take over, that were out there that is doing a damn good job of it. But now what we have is people that aren't satisfied with the review that they're getting. They're starting to call them sellouts, call me a sellout. Which I don't know how you can call me a sellout, because I actually took a job with a company where I can make an impact on numbers, weight distribution numbers, to better help seniors out there. So I'm working for a company, Short Porch, and I joined the movement. So I'm working for a company to better the industry. So he's getting money. That's another thing too. Last week I heard he's getting paid. Well, hell yeah, I'm getting paid. I'm working for a company. I don't understand that. I'm working for a company. I'm talking about a product. It makes me laugh when I hear people out there and they start doing that. And I'm saying, okay, they're throwing shit up against the wall, and hopefully it'll stick. But I'm working for a company that is heading in the direction that I've always been preaching for 15 years, to better help seniors out there. And here's the deal, God, I got blinders on. I don't give a shit what you put out there, what you post. The minions are sending it to me. I don't even watch your shit. The minions are sending it to me. We have something to do here. And guys, we're too busy. We are too busy. And I'm not shitting you. I am 7 days a week I work. 7 days a week. Weekends too. Because all the stuff that's going to come out. All the stuff that is coming out. We're not talking about it much. We want to wait till it's actually here and then talk about it, because it's almost like a surprise. You don't want to talk about the surprise before you get it. You don't start talking about presents and shit before they actually get here. So don't listen to the naysayers. They just throw shit out there. And I'll talk about them more in a minute, but they're just throwing shit up against the wall and hopefully it'll stick because they don't have a product like the company that I'm working for. You know, and here's the deal too, guys. Not once have I got up here and said, Short Porch has the best bats in the world. Not once have I got up here and said, Short Porch has a bat that's better than this one. And the weight distribution numbers are the same as this one. I never said that. I don't. There are top tier bat companies out there. Guys, there's enough bats to go around for everybody. There's enough bats to go around for everybody. There's top tier bats everywhere. Not once did I say Short Porch is better than all of them. Okay? I do talk about the movement. I do talk about the way of thinking. Now, I think what seniors want out there is they want knowledge, right? So they want to know. So I'm giving them information on the direction that we are going. This is what we're thinking about. It's never been done, guys. It's never been done. So we're putting our ass on the line to actually do it. We're not giving out a lot of information because what will happen is a lot of people will take that as their own. Happened to me for 15 years. You know, so from getting numbers, and they say, we came up with numbers. Guys, you know how many times that shit's happened to me? So now the guys are butthurt because they say that, here's the quote, guys. Maybe we should start paying off these bat reviewers like one particular other bat companies. So who's getting paid off? And actually, the guy said it was a podcaster. I'm the only podcaster. I'm the only one. Out of all the bat companies, I'm the only podcaster. So they're calling me out, basically. Okay, here's the deal. And in that same text message, I actually said, it was on Facebook, and I actually said, who are you talking about? Because I wanted to make sure. Who are you talking about? Who's getting paid off? You sit there on the computer, you little fucking hot ass sitting on the computer, start talking shit, right? And then you get busted, and all of a sudden I'll say the word. Who is it? Who are you talking about? That way I can, if it's me, I can better explain myself. I can actually debunk what you're talking about. I mean, isn't that what we're supposed to do? You want to have a debate with me? Have a debate with me. Talk to me about how your product's better than my product or our product. You know, and right here on social media. And I don't want to get too far into that because I'm pissed. Because I've worked for something all 15 years. I developed the reputation as being honest, and all of a sudden I'm a sellout now because I'm working for a bat company. I'm doing a fucking job I've always wanted to do. And I get that dream job, and then now I'm a sellout. No, we're building bats. With my knowledge, a part of everybody else's knowledge as part of this company. With my knowledge too, we're building bats and trying to build a top tier bat. I'm not telling you we're building the best bat out there. I'm telling you, trying to build a top tier bat. So, and I can sit there and I can talk to this guy why their product is not that good. That's the bad part about it. I know so much about bats. I can tell you why your bat sucks. Actually, you've asked me before. I don't want to get that deep into that. Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, we're doing that. Instagram, TikTok, everything is Short Porch. Although there is quite a few Short Porch videos out there, I'm one of them, basically. The one thing I will say, and there's been a lot of them lately, and Patty Albright still with Suncoast still monitors a lot of people's pages, one of mine being one of them. And she checks for scammers. But guys, if you don't answer the questions, because my pages, my groups are private, and if you don't answer the questions, you won't get on. Just answer the questions. That way we can better check for scammers. Guys, watch out, because there was something out there and it didn't have nothing to do, didn't have anything to do with Senior Ball. It was U-Trip. Somebody bought a bat off of, I don't think the guy was a scammer. I actually think he didn't know. He had bought it from someone else and didn't know what it was. and he was swinging it, and the cap came out off of it, and it had been shaved. And the guy, because he's hitting it in BP, and he didn't hit it in a tournament. This is a guy that plays a lot of tournaments, sanctioned tournaments. So don't let this happen to you where you're swinging a bat that you bought off of one of these buy, sell, and trade. Because I cannot, because I have a buy, sell, and trade, senior softball buy, sell, and trade out there. Got a lot of subscribers to it, a lot of members to it. I can't vouch for everybody on that page. A lot of you guys ask me, do you know this guy? Because he's a friend of yours, and I'll vouch for him if I know them. So, yes, but just double check. It's hard for me because of working 7 days a week now. I cannot get on there and check everything now. Patty does a really good job, and she calls them out and posts her picture on everything on if she finds one. But common sense, guys, if they have a first name and their last name is a first name, that's a red flag. If they only have 5 people, or they just joined on Facebook this year or last year and they don't have a lot of friends, that's another red flag. And look at all their posts. Do vet them, right? Look at all their posts and what they've done or who they've sold to. You know, check on their, because you can actually go into their actual Facebook profile page and actually look on who they are. So guys, it's gotten so bad. And especially when Christmas is coming up, watch your ass and cover your ass, because there's a lot of, and I'm not saying a lot, there's a few guys that don't know they have shaved bats, and they bought them from somebody at the ballpark, and they swung it, you know, and then cap flies out, and it's got all this shitty ass glue on the end of it, and they start they start calling them out on YouTube or Facebook or whatever. And the guy made it right. He didn't even know that it had been bought, and he told everybody the name of the guy he bought it from. So just cover your ass and watch that shit out there. And I talked about an hour and a half to a podcaster on Saturday, and he agrees with a lot of things too. Is so much hate being out there, and it's almost like, and this is what summed it up when I was talking to him was. And I'm not just talking about bats, I'm talking about other product too. But if you cannot build a top tier anything, a ball, a bat, whatever, batting gloves, what you tend to do, and that's with today's society, is you tend to trash the other person. You don't build a better product if you get denied, or you get back in the old days, whenever you did a bat and they did a shitty review on that bat, those people would get pissed, but they get pissed at themselves and start building a better bat. That don't happen nowadays. What they do is they start trashing the person that did a review on it. It just sucks that a lot of these guys out there that do bat reviews, and I know them personally, aren't out there for a paycheck. They're really not. A lot of them actually donate whenever they're doing a let's say a charity bat, and they know about bats, right? And that's another thing too. In that little thing, I kind of like read it, and it was on, guy took a screenshot of it and sent it to me, and he said, maybe we need to start paying off these bat reviewers. No, don't pay them off. Actually give them a job, because they know more about bats than you do, and they've swung every bat out there. So why don't you just do like Short Porch did, and why don't you hire these bat review people? I'm not going to call you guys out, but why don't you hire them instead of paying them off, and have them, because they've swung a lot of bats, especially the guys that've been in it for years. They've swung a lot of bats. So don't think that fucking negative shit out there. Don't start posting shitting at the mouth. Start downing somebody. Maybe you need to have a board meeting and say, maybe we need to buy these. Maybe we need to hire these bat review people. And here's the deal: you trip too. Who has better knowledge than those guys that swung every bat out there? And they can sit there. I've talked to them. They can sit there and talk to you for days about bats, weight distribution, stuff like that. How a bat feels in their hands. So don't think negative. Why don't you give them a job? That's what I would say to you. I don't know. I want to go off again, but I'm not. Yeah, I need to be the fact checker. Here's a fact checker. Let me give you guys, and I'm going to probably do this once a week. I'm going to do fact checks. I'm going to do Short porch fat checks once a week. And I'm not going to talk about, I'm just going to show you something here. I'm going to show you something here. This is my podcast from last week. All right. I check everybody's how many, like I was talking today, I check how many viewers you have. And I did it with YouTube too. And I kind of graduated into Facebook, where I wanted to see what I can do better for me to attract a lot of people to my channel. So what I would do is I would go on your podcast or whatever, your video, and I would see how many viewers you got on what a lot of people liked out there. So if you're putting out good content, I was doing research basically, and this is years ago. So I'm going to show you something, how many viewers I get. And this ain't bullshit. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you how many viewers I get a week. I'm going to give you a way to check how many viewers I get a week, how many views I have at the end of a podcast, like tonight, how many viewers I have 24 hours. Because I check that. I'm weird that way, man, where I'm a numbers guy. I gotta be popping numbers. I gotta look at numbers. What can I do to make this better? What can I introduce? So I'm going to tell you, if you go on my podcast, and this is the one from last week, I'm going to show you, right? This is my podcast from last week. If you go up here on the right-hand side, you're going to see that number right there. That's how many I have a week on this podcast. Now, if I have different people that come in, that number changes. But I usually don't get below that number right there. So what you do is you double click on this. Whenever you see the video come up on Facebook, you'll double click on that. It'll come up to this screen right here. Look over the right-hand side and see how many viewers they have. That's a fact check number one. So when I get up here, and I never do tell you, I'm not up here saying about how many views I get a week and, you know, I'm smoking it because I don't do that shit. You know, you guys want to watch it, you watch it. If you don't, then I actually think I put out good shit because I don't just talk about bad. So I don't talk about how good I am. I don't talk about, I talk about health, nutrition, get your ass off the couch, start walking around. Basically what I do. And I think that brings in a lot more people. And the only reason, well, get you one, Stacy. All you got to do is put a phone call in. That was our new, I want to call her out right now. Stacy Carr. She said she likes this. And I just got it the other day. So they just came in. So basically it's a hoodie and it says Short Porch on it. Stacy is a player rep for Short Porch now for the ladies department. She is in Georgia and she plays U-Trip and she's going to be playing seniors. She's in her 50s and she'll be playing seniors. You guys, girls, ever need anything from in that area, need anything from Short Porch, Stacy Carr is the new, as of last week, player rep. And she's going to be putting video out, right, Tracy? You're going to be putting video out. But guys, I don't. And another thing too, if you don't like the movement, it doesn't matter to me. I'm not, like I said last week, I'm not trying to convince you, nor do I care if you're convinced. We're going in a direction here where, no, call Jeff. Don't text him. He doesn't answer text. He actually needs a phone call. You can thank me later. So, see, y'all guys mess me up because I keep reading that shit. But I'm going to get off that. But we're trying to do something here, guys, if you like it. It's just a different direction. We're not doing the same old stuff everybody else is doing. And with that, you get a lot of feedback. You get a lot of naysayers. You get a lot of people that actually try to debunk what you're doing. And, we will be in, I'm going to kind of jump. Matter of fact, there you go. I'm going to kind of jump off of that and talk about Vegas. We will be in Vegas. I think we're leaving on the 11th in the morning. We'll be there at the, every manager's meeting. We'll have a booth set up. We will be there at the tent, Big League Dreams. I will be with them and I'll kind of be going back and forth, but I'll give you guys days that I will be there and days where I will be, because I will be with Phantom Sports too. Phantom Sports is coming down. I don't know if it's Phantom. You guys can talk on here about who it is. Phantom Sports, they will be there. And I don't know if they're going to be, I think they're going to be in a Short Porch tent and they'll be working another venue, and I will be with them too. So there's days that I will be over there with them, kind of talking to everybody. I would love for it to be AA, AAA, maybe some majors in there too. Because if you think about it, and I'm not downing you guys, I'm just saying Major Plus doesn't need me to be there. They're already either got a bat sponsor, or those guys, they don't want to. They know it. They know it all. So I'm not being a dick. I'm just saying they know all the stuff that I'm trying to move and try to talk about. And they already have a bat deal. If you're Major Plus, I guarantee it, 90% of you guys already have a bat deal. So there's nothing I can talk to them about. They're not going to come by. The guys that are my demographics are the AA and AAA guys, the guys that want to gain knowledge. Come by and talk to me. I'll be at the tent. Tent again. I'll be at the, tent. And I will be there, and I will be talking the whole time. Yes, I will in a minute. Let me get to the end here, because I'm almost, I'm in 30 minutes. Give me 15 minutes. Is that fine? I'm sure you're going to be there for a while. He's still at the office. It's 9 o'clock there at Short Porch, and he's still there. Guys, a lot of conversations I have with him he's at the office. That's Jeff Kessler with Short Porch, my boss. A lot of times he is there working. So it's easy to talk to him because I'm at the house at nighttime. I'm hitting balls during the day or working out. One of the two. Next 2 weeks, when Jeff comes on, I'll talk to him about that. And guys, in the next 2 weeks, what we have on the board, and I'm not going to talk too much about that much unless he wants to talk about it. I was in a pissy mood earlier, and I started writing shit down. What I'm bringing to Short Porch is, for one, is transparency, which I've had for 15 years, and ideas. If you guys look at my bio, I'm research and development. It's research and development, public relations, public PR, just doing and talking to people and brainstorming on new product that's coming out. That's what I do here. Jeff's got me all excited about bringing him on. I'll jump right straight into this then. And this has nothing to do with what I'm going to talk about when he's on here. A few things I want to go by, and this is the health and nutrition part, guys. The one thing that I've talked about this in the past, but since I have this channel, I can talk about it a little bit here too, is if you guys are drinking energy drinks, and I've seen you guys do it, the monster drinks, do not consume monster drinks in a tournament. It dehydrates you, for one. Beer and alcohol, I see a few people that are doing this. Not necessarily because I played Major Plus in the past, not necessarily at that level. A AA, AAA, I see a little bit, but not really a lot. But I would recommend no beer and no mixed drinks, alcohol at all, because it's a diuretic. So basically, you're out playing a tournament. It's going to be hot. You're going to be sweating, and it just depletes you. It doesn't matter if you're taking the stuff that I tell you to take, the Pedialyte, and not the Pedialyte, but the liquid IV and stuff like that. You'll get dehydrated faster. 40%, you lose 40% of your strength if you're dehydrated. That's another thing too. That's the deal breaker with me. I don't want to be out there and be weak. A lot of times, if you guys are playing softball and all of a sudden you get weak, there's a lot of reasons why you get weak. Dehydration and insulin spikes and drops. So the insulin spike, you get a high rush, 20 minutes later, 15 minutes later, 10 minutes later, you get that big drop. So when you get that big drop, you start to crave carbs. You start to crave sugars, right? When you get that drop. So what do? You go up and grab a Snickers bar. And I've seen you guys in a dugout do this before. So you're getting that big drop, big up and down, because you're consuming sugar. And it makes you tired at the end, and you're just weak. So if there's something, the one thing that I have found out through the years of playing is if I'm up there and we're playing 2 or 3 games in a row or have an hour break, I already know that I'm going to have to consume some kind of complex carbohydrate. So protein's just not going to do it for me because I'm depleting my energy levels. So I need to replenish that, right? I need to get some carbs in there to replenish that. So I know that already. So when you guys are up there playing a tournament, you kind of feel sluggish, a weak, or brain fog or something like that. It's you dehydrated, or you need to get some carbs in you. Yes, that's my dog in the backyard. I have a German Shepherd. She is awesome. I'll talk about that when Jeff's here. Talk about here, and I'll get off and get Jeff on here. One of them is testosterone. There's been this comment out there for years, and the comment goes is, what is the leading thing that softball players actually lose their desire to play anymore? Because you see a lot of people out there said, I'm giving it up, I'm not doing it anymore. Well, why? Well, I'm getting hurt too much, or I just don't have that burning, I don't have that passion anymore. That's testosterone. That's you're starting to turn in. You're getting older, so your testosterone kind of dies. If you're getting injured, a lot of injuries, and if you're not healing as fast, it's testosterone. It's a hormone. Is basically what's doing it. HGH or testosterone. So a lot of the pros, or a lot of the people out there that actually lose that desire, the main cause is a hormone level. Your hormones not in check. Either testosterone or something else. Thyroid does it too, where you just don't want to do anything. Get your levels checked, guys. Go in. I talk to numerous people every week about testosterone levels, and I'll ask what their symptoms are. And I said, man, you need to get checked. And lo and behold, they go in, they're at 210 or 215 or something like that. And then one guy was at 400, and his doc was saying, well, okay, that's good. You're good. Well, what good? 400 is good for what? A 60-year-old guy? I don't want to feel like a 60-year-old guy. I want to feel like a 25-year-old guy, 30-year-old guy. Those numbers for me is at 850. So yeah, my levels are at 850, and I try to keep them there because I get blood work done all the time. With that being said, you need to get your PSA. Just don't go out and buy testosterone and get on it if you can't go to the doctor. You got to get your PSA levels checked. That's your prostate. Well, other things too, but it's mainly your prostate. So get that checked. That makes sure that you can get on it. Won't have any prostate trouble later. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but if you're low on testosterone, your prostate will actually enlarge too. If you're low on T, I just got some the other day. There is some estrogen lowering, not where it cuts your estrogen off, because you don't need to do that, because men still need estrogen too. So there's it's called DIM. Go down to your health food store and get it, DIM, and it's a vegetable. And somebody will come up here and say what it is. I forgot, but it's a vegetable that actually found out that it lowers estrogen levels in your body. So, if you don't get on testosterone, you just don't want to do it, at least get DIM to bring your estrogen levels down. Because what happens when you get low testosterone, your estrogen levels, your testosterone's up here, and it starts getting lower, your estrogen levels are here. So you don't want to get that testosterone that's lower than your estrogen, because you just start developing bad stuff. And you guys can look it up. Make sure you get that estrogen level lower, make you feel a little bit better. And guys, these are just, I'm not a doctor. I'm not sitting here telling you to get on this stuff. Do some research on it. I'm just giving you ideas to get your quality of life back, basically. There are some other drugs out there too. One I think is for osteoporosis. If you guys want to know a little bit about that, get on that membership channel, and I talk a little bit deeper into other drugs out there that helps you with muscle wasting disease and osteoporosis. That's a very good drug out there. Working out, guys. A lot of people ask me, because I work out like a fiend, especially lately when I got this new job. I lit a fire underneath me. So I hit the weights really hard. I probably put on, what happens with seniors, what what is good about, if you worked out, I've worked out all my life and was a power lifter in my 30s. So the one thing I noticed that you have muscle memory. You have, not only when you're hitting, you know what I mean, but you have muscle memory. Like if I lost a lot of my size, I will get that size back pretty quick by hitting the weights pretty hard and keeping my health and nutrition up to the optimal level. I'll find out I can pack it on and I can look good really fast, a few months, and I can look good really fast. So I get it all back. If you guys lifted weights in the past, it's easier to get there than just first starting. If you start working out again, guys, you got to get up off the couch and you got to start walking around. Any kind of workout routine with your wrists would be good for a lot of the old seniors out there. Get out and walk around the block, you know, like David Ireland was talking about last week. Get a bike if you have a lower back trouble. Get a bike, pumping a lot of blood into your back to help it get rid of the inflammation, because like a lot of times when you get an injury, you've got to get rid of that inflammation in those. I talked about shots, cortisone shots too. They save my ass. Cortisone has saved my ass. I don't get a lot of them, you know, and I kind of like, I don't, every time I get a little tweak, I don't just run in and get them. You know, I probably get one every 2 years, especially in my back and my neck, my knee. I had a torn meniscus. I healed that by just a little stuff BPC 157. I was shooting BPC 157 in my knee. I had a meniscus tear and I have the MRI and everything, and that's gone. It's healed, which they can heal. They say they're hard to heal depending on where the tear is at. So find out where your tear is at. I got an MRI, found out where my tear is at, and I healed it within 4 months, 3 months. And now it doesn't bother me. You know, I don't wear my knee brace anymore. So that's another thing too. There is a called the slingshot, guys. I don't have it with me, and I was going to bring it down here to show you guys. There's something out there called the slingshot. It actually is a strap. You guys see me have it. It's a strap that you put on your arms, keeps your elbows in, because if you're doing any kind of weightlifting for softball, don't flare your elbows. Keep them in. Do a lot of tricep work when you keep them in. If you flare it, it works your chest. You don't use your chest to hit a softball. I don't care what anybody says. You don't do it. So get away from the flies. You don't use your biceps to hit a softball. So stay away from that. Triceps, legs, of course, core, upper traps, big traps, big back, big lats, wrist, triceps. Stay away from the cable. Stay away from the cable flies. Or the flies like this, you know, push-ups. If you're going to do push-ups, that's the craze now. Everybody's doing push-ups. So if you're going to do push-ups, keep your elbows in. Use that slingshot from Mark Bell. Listen to me. You guys have seen me talk about it. I don't have it with me. Mark Bell slingshot. Go in YouTube and push that in. Buy one. Buy the blue one first, then go to the red one, and I think they have the yellow one after that. Do push-ups closed in when you're doing the push-ups. Grab that little hand push-up thing and keep your elbows in. If you're doing presses, dumbbell presses, elbows in. Do not pull out. Those are just little things I'm gonna talk about over the week. There's something out there I do want you guys to look into, and I talked about this in the past. And these are just little things that I actually know about, because I do a lot of research, probably more than the average person. That's not bad either, Michael. Actually, if you feel good there, stay there. People don't understand. You've got to be putting in 2,000, 3,000 to get that number up that high to be considered a performance-enhancing drug. A lot of people don't know that. So I'll tell everybody that too. All you guys freak out, like right there. My doc wants him at 1,000. If your doc wants you at 1,000, go to 1,000. That's a badass doctor. Do not get rid of him, because he actually is pushing the envelope. What these bodybuilders are actually, when you're bodybuilding, they really don't get on testosterone, because testosterone is not really that big what they want to achieve. You got to get on other drugs, other steroids to get that mass and to get that big. Testosterone, they'll actually put it in there to supplement it, or to put in there with other drugs, and it doesn't make you a giant. You know, it does. It does help you mentally, because you can't function at a 200 or 300 testosterone. Mentally too, everything, physically, mentally, you train a thought, you have no drive to do anything. Those are the side effects that I experienced whenever I started doing it. And you got a good doctor. You got a good doctor there. And I know people that are on that 1,000, that have no side effects. When you start getting the side effects that at 2,000-3,000 that a lot of these bodybuilders pump in there, and still it's your body produces testosterone. It just doesn't produce it anymore. So you're supplementing a synthetic testosterone that your body already has produced all its life because you're a male. Women produce testosterone too. That's another thing. Women, just not to the volume that we produce it at, but women do produce testosterone too. So yes, dude, why are you always late? Now I want to talk about something, and this is some serious shit. So no effing jokes down there or anything. I want to talk about Cialis. There is papers that talk. I don't know if you guys know where Cialis came from. It just wasn't a male ED drug. It was actually for your heart. And they found out that a lot of these people that were doing the study found out that, hey, it does something else to me too. Well, then they figured they can make more money off that. So they started, and they do, and they started making this drug called Cialis. A lot of you guys need to look into this because this was talked about. I'm going to give you facts here. And then when you take these and you look into it and find out a small dose, they found out with just anybody that wanted to take it, like less than 5 milligrams a day. And when you go to a doctor, he's usually going to give you a prescription for 20, 25, 30, or been up to 50. But if you want to do this, talk to your doctor about it for one. But if you want to do this, Cialis at 5 milligrams a day, low dose every morning, it increases nitrous oxide levels in your body. Now, guys, there's shit that's being sold out there at GNC and all these other places to actually do that, and it costs a lot of money, $20, $30 for a can of it. And you can go out there and I want to show you guys this too. You can go out there and you can get that for that. But what you don't understand is Cialis does the same thing, and it helps with inflammation. So if you guys are dealing with inflammation out there, small doses of Cialis is actually beneficial for you. It's good for your heart, good for muscle recovery. That's another one too. And it's good for your prostate. And I've said this before in the past. And guys, you need to get out there and do research. There's a lot of people, a lot of seniors out there that are taking Cialis. Mainly reason for is their prostate, to help with their prostate. Heart, good for your heart, because it actually was developed for your heart. L-arginine mixed in with Cialis too is very good stuff. L-arginine, let me tell you about L-arginine, Murray. L-arginine, actually, when I did testing for human growth hormone, what they do is they do a stimulation test. And what they do is they give you a secretagogue. A secretagogue is actually injected into your arm, and it helps you. And I've been to 2 of these tests. It actually stimulates the pituitary gland to release growth hormone, because that's where you release it from, is the pituitary gland. That little gland between your eyes, look, size of a pea. And it's supposed to help you pulsate growth. Well, the test that I took was, I would sit in a chair, and they would come in, and they did it one time with a drug that I will tell you later on about if you guys really want to know about it. But the second one time I went in, they did it with L-arginine. So they give me a mega dose of L-arginine in the shoulder, and every 30 minutes they check my blood to see if my growth levels would increase. APTs, something like that. APTs would increase, and that's the way to find out if you're deficient in growth. That's the first thing they check. And then they do the stem test. Well, it was L-arginine that they shot in my shoulder to see if my pituitary gland would pulsate, and it did not. So I cannot take, like there's MK677 out there too, that's a S.A.R.M, selective androgen receptor modulator. You can take that drug at nighttime. It makes you hungry though. That's another thing too. It messes with your ghrelin, the hunger thing, in your belly, and makes you hungry. So you find out you're eating a lot, you drop some weight, but you find out you got to keep yourself from eating so much because it does increase hunger. But MK677 is a secretagogue. Actually, a pill you take, or you drop it underneath your tongue every night. That's a S.A.R.M. You can look that up too. selective androgen receptor modulator. Well, I can't take that because my pituitary gland will not secrete growth. So get back to Cialis. Cialis is something that benefits not only in ED, but it benefits a lot of people out there, the men out there, especially with prostate. I actually, they've been trying to ban it, Matt, for years. And everybody talks about it because it's a talk subject on YouTube, and they talk about trying to ban it. It's actually, you can't buy it. You actually got to go through a black market, but you got to go through a reputable black market. I actually know somebody that does third testing on it, so they have pure stuff, and you guys can go through them and get it through him because he's done testing on it. The reason I know that, I wanted to test it on my brother because my brother still secretes growth. And if you ever saw my brother, he's in very good shape. He's like me. He's lighter than me, but he's ripped. And he's 63, 62. And he is just ripped to shreds. 180 pounds, just ripped. But that's genetics. A lot of that's genetics too. So I'm just bigger than him. So yes, Murray is right. L-arginine. I actually take L-arginine. No on what? You said L-arginine. Nitrous, yes, that's good stuff, but it does increase nitrous. Like what did I say? Nitrous oxide, which our body can increase nitrous oxide. And Cialis does help with nitrous. The research that I've done, it's getting freaking hot in here. And yes, L-arginine is actually good. It's a dilator, right? It dilates muscle, it dilates veins and gets the heart going. If you have a heart problem, and guys, check with your doctor before you do any of this shit. If you have a heart problem, do some research into L-arginine. You can buy it at the counter, your health food store. You can go in there and you can go in there and talk to them about it. Would it be recommended because of your problem, or you have problems with your heart? Would it be a good idea to get on L-arginine? It's a dilator is basically what it is. It helps with ED too, believe it or not. So if you guys don't want to get on any of these ED drugs, L-arginine is actually a very good ED problem. Okay, now you girls can actually jump back in there and actually start talking. Where is Jeff Kessler? Can you get on? Ask me. I don't have that button anymore, Jeff, because I'm doing 2 channels. Let me see if I can pull you in here. Jeff, if you hear me. That's not right. I sure hope I don't have to end this to get up on there. I'm already 53 minutes in it. I might have to get off this because this is that prism where I do have 2 channels here. You can see Michael's actually on YouTube. Richard Clem is on Facebook. Yeah, this is yours actually, Clem. I was feeling a little thin today, so I got your extra large. It does look pretty sweet though, especially with the red hat. I cannot believe Stacy didn't get one from Jeff though. Jeff, can you ask to join? I want to see if it pulls it up. If not, I'm going to have to go to just Facebook and then have that conversation with you if you want to talk to me. I'm done talking about that. I'm going to kind of go here unless I see Jeff. You don't see how that you can join? Like on the bottom there? I do want to talk to you, dude, and I can run it again. I'm going to get off of this, and then I'm going to bring you on Facebook because I do want to talk about what we talked about, a little bit about what we talked about this morning. And then whatever you want to. Trey, you think I can fit into the next large? This is mine, dude. This is a double. Stacy, he just got him in the other day. And you have to go through Trey now. Everybody's all of those guys, like, you're gonna have to go through Trey, because me and Clem go through Trey. Whenever we want to get product, we go through Trey. Trey gets it a lot faster than what we do. Jeff knows why. But Trey gets it a lot faster than we do. So whenever we want to put an order in for hats, I got a hat in. If we want to put an order in for hats, I'll actually ask Trey for the hats. I won't call. Did you just join? Last thing before I get off. And guys, on Facebook, if you guys on YouTube, go over to Facebook and you guys are going to hear me talk to Jeff, because I cannot get him on there. I cannot get him on here. So I'm going to get off and I'm going to get in contact with him on Facebook, and you guys can listen to him and me talk. One other thing before I get off, I want you guys to, I have a problem with bloating whenever I consume creatine. So there's some creatine out there that I can handle. Creatine monohydrate, not so much, or the way it's made. I can't handle creatine. Creatine, guys, you guys don't understand what creatine does to you. It actually increases strength. And there's a theory or a way that it increases strength. Do some research on it and find out. But it's very good for your brain. Very good for your brain. When my kids were in contact sports all of their life, I gave them creatine every day, because it helps if they had a concussion, if they would get a concussion, it helps them recover a lot faster because of the brain. It actually absorbs water into the brain. So anytime you have creatine, it absorbs water. I've even done studies where it actually makes you retain water a little bit better when you're out and you start to dehydrate. It actually helps you hold the muscle and hold the water into the muscle. So I'm not saying a ton, I'm just saying a little bit. That's what creatine will do for your body. Not only that, and I'm not saying you guys can go out there and drink whatever you want to drink and all of a sudden just start taking creatine, things it's going to solve the problem. It's not going to solve the problem. It does help with strength. It helps with stamina. It helps from getting dehydrated as bad as you would, like in tournaments and stuff like that. I started creatine about 3 weeks ago. I see a big difference in pumps when I'm working out, and it's my size. I've gotten a lot bigger up on top. So that's it, guys. I'm going to jump over on Facebook, get on here with Jeff, and we're going to talk for a while. Thanks, guys. Jump over there.